Hello, I'm Ellen Foley, and this is Business 120. Today, we're going to go over Chapters 6 and 7. In these chapters, we will learn about management and flexibility. The definition of management involves the process of coordinating people and other resources to achieve the goals of an organization. While that might sound a bit dry, there are many interesting parts of an organization that you might find your interest in as we continue our studies. How all of the different parts of a company come together through their managers determines how successful that business will be. It starts with planning, goes to organizing, leading and motivating, controlling, and then back to review and modify those processes. One of the key tools that we use in management is what's called the SWOT analysis. This is described in your book, but I wanted to go over it because it's used very often in many different areas of a business. SWOT, of course, means defining the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of a project, a company, a team. It doesn't really matter, but this basic headset is what you're going to find when you enter the business structure, either as an employee or as a manager. Once you complete an analysis like this, you and your team have an idea about what the next step should be. It's very helpful. There are several types of plans that people in business put together over the course of the year, sometimes more than once a year, to figure out what they should be doing, where they should be going. And these plans are described in your book, but I wanted to mention the types so that you can get a sense of what your bosses might be doing if you are an entry-level employee. The big plan is the strategic plan, and that plan decides what exactly our goals are going to be. The tactical plan tells us how we're going to set forward steps to get to the strategy. The operational plan supports the tactical plan, and the goal is the key outcome for all of these plans. It may sound like an easy task to be a leader, but it's a very complicated set of skills, and in my life it took me many years to learn how to be a good leader. There's lots and lots of research and study guides out there on it. But leading is the process of influencing people to work towards a common goal. Motivating is the process of providing reasons for people to work in the best interests of the organization. There are key skills for successful managers. And as you move into your careers, you need to be thinking about these skills if you want to move up in the organization or if you want to stay at the entry level. There's no shame in either, but you will need to get better at certain kinds of skills as indicated here in order to become a good manager and to move your company forward. I would say that the most often underwhelming skills for people, those that everybody thinks, well, I communicate. I mean, I can breathe, I can communicate. Well, it's not that easy. And it relies a lot on a concept called emotional intelligence, which I hope you'll learn about in another class, or that we can talk about in our class if you would like. There's several styles of leadership: autocratic, participative, and entrepreneurial. You would think at this stage of the game that people would not be proud or even admit that they have an autocratic style. But I've been working for 40 years, and I would say most of the top bosses that I've had were autocrats, and some were narcissists. And in fact, there is research that says that 1 in 10 or so of the people that reach the top of an organization are sociopaths. So you need to think about that when you're trying to influence your bosses to do what you think is the right thing to do. You have to figure out how to reach them when they don't act like you or your entire generation. There are several characteristics of organizations that you need to be aware of, and these, again, are spelled out in your book. Job specialization is one of them. Grouping jobs into manageable units, I can't tell you how often that is not done. Delegation of power, I think that is where the major wisdom of an organization is. Span of management and chain of command are also key concepts that you need to know as you move up in your career. So I imagine you have a lot of questions about management, and I endeavor to answer them for you in class, should you like. One thing that we need to understand is that in the last few months, many things have changed. For example, one of the organizing principles of a company is location. And now, with the COVID experience, we are finding that many companies are not using location with people working at home and have learned that it is an efficient way to organize their troops, and they are telling people that they're going to stay with the work at home method for a long time, possibly forever. The real estate in downtown New York City is falling through the floor in terms of value because companies don't need the real estate anymore. So we will see many changes coming. They may stick, they may not. You're living in a very dynamic time, and I'm eager myself to learn about when and what the future will bring. We'll be moving on to more chapters about management and the internal workings of a company. Thanks for hanging in there. We'll see you in class. Bye-bye.